Not opening. Just a minute.
If you see below, if you see below completely, you see notes. Can you see notes?
No, I can't.
Yeah.
Yeah, notes. Oh, okay.
Yeah, after the notes, fourth icon. One, two, not that. The fourth icon, which is like a glass.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. So,
yeah, before probably, and now Sumati, please introduce Dr. Aarti so that she can.
Yeah. Hi, good evening all, and welcome to the new first program of ours where we would like to educate people with definitely good health and wealth and as well as joy so that we would have a good lifestyle. So in that series, I would love to introduce Aarti Balse, who is been so kind enough to give us this session for 40 minutes, and very happy to introduce you, Aarti. Aarti is a dietitian with over 10 years of experience. She is a postgraduate in food nutrition dietist and member of Indian Dietetic Association. She is a registered dietitian with a varied experience of working in hospitals, teaching, assisting in clinical trials, blogging. Currently, she is associated with Elderly Care Services. Aarti is a fun-loving person who loves to interact with people and explore new avenues of learning. She is a certified diabetes educator and have certification in lactation management also. So she is an experienced caregiver in geriatric population with specific approach on skeletal muscular disorders and disease management. So I know it's a lot of medical jargon, like how we are seeing it for the first time. I would love to welcome you, Aarti, and address all of us to have a good and healthy lifestyle. Thank you.
thank you so much, ma'am. So can I start the session now?
Yeah, please.
Okay. So good evening, everybody. Nice to see all of you all. Can I know how many people have joined us? I'm not able to.
Yeah, we are over 30 people in the session currently.
Oh, that's nice. So today's session is a joint association with Manasam and Elderly Care. So Elderly Care is an organization which deals with geriatric health care. So today I will be speaking on positive health, good lifestyle, and good mental well-being and nutrition also. So a request to you all, please write down any questions that you have. I will be taking breaks in between, and I don't want to keep continuing so that you miss out on any questions. Whenever I stop, write down any questions that come to your mind. We'll take it at the end of the session. So let's start. So what is positive life? By positive life, we mean good health, good nutrition, and a good mental well-being. And how do we achieve this? Is by good nutrition management, stress management, and activity management. So as the famous philosopher Hippocrates said, let food be thy medicine. That is, eat your food should be so nutritious that you need not take any medicines. So let us see how we can achieve this philosophy. So meal planning. All homemakers do a meal planning on a daily basis. You don't need a dietitian to plan a healthy meal. Some common things we follow, some principles that we follow. If we follow, our diets can be healthy, nutritious. So why do we need a meal plan? Most important is not to make our food monotonous. So when we are on a diet, doesn't mean eating only salad and fruits, because we have something called taste buds and we have to please them also. So our food needs to be interesting, and it has to look attractive, taste good, and smell good also. So it is very important to plan our meal so that there is variety.
Dr. Aarti, sorry, can you be a little louder so that a lot of elders are there? If you can be a little louder, it will be helpful. Thank you.
Okay, fine. Also, how to ensure that all your meals have nutrients in them. That it shouldn't be that your breakfast is very healthy, and then by the time you come to dinner, it is just curd rice. So I'm not saying that curd rice is unhealthy. It is, but it is not a complete meal. So all your meals should be equally nutrient dense. So this is an example of a sample breakfast, how interesting it can be. So one need not have only cornflakes with milk every day. There is a lot of variety possible. A simple dish like poha can be made more nutritious by adding more peas to it, vegetables to it, or groundnuts to it. Instead of having a simple chapati, add greens to it, make it a spinach chapati, so becomes nutritious. Instead of a plain rice flour dosa, I use jawar dosa or millets flowers can be used. Plain idli and coconut chutney. Instead of that, an addition of sambar gives, and with vegetables, good amount of vegetables in it. It gives you proteins and fiber also. Instead of bread and jam or bread butter, add an omelette to it. An egg gives you that protein. It gives you vitamin E. Something like a pesarattu, it is made from moong pulse, so it's high in fiber and protein also. Instead of a plain white rice vermicelli, which is very refined, one can have ragi vermicelli, ragi is high in calcium and iron, and addition of lot of vegetables to this makes it even high in fiber. So these are some other breakfast ideas. So if there are people from Maharashtra, they will be available. They will be aware of something called thalipit. It is made from various millet flours. So leafy vegetables can be added to that. Dalia khichdi can be made instead of plain rice khichdi. Uh, Paddus can be made with millet flours. Ragi roti is very nutritious. Thepla, for somebody from Gujarat may be aware of it. Thepla using leafy vegetables. In the season of peas paratha, peas are very good source of protein. And sattu paratha is people from UP, Bihar, they must be aware. This is quite a nutritious breakfast. So it is not possible to calculate calories every day and weigh your food. It's not practical to do that. So how can you assure that you're getting the right amount of nutrients on a daily basis? So this is what we called a my plate method. So in this, a 10-inch plate. So this 10-inch is, if you go to a restaurant, the buffet plate they have, that is a 10-inch plate. So that in that plate, at least half of your plate should be filled with vegetables. So in that half, one half could be a cooked vegetable, your palya or sabji, and the other half should be a raw vegetable, your salad or kosambari. In the remaining half, one fourth should be a protein-rich food. For vegetarians, it could be pulses, dal, soya products, paneer. For non-vegetarians, eggs, fish, chicken. Red meat is not really recommended on a regular basis because the fats in them are not good for the heart health. The remaining one fourth will have carbs in them. By carbs, I mean your grains, the rice or chapati or roti, whatever you prefer, or millets also. So in this way, we ensure that we have the right amount of nutrients. Make sure that your plate is colorful, because the more the colors in your diet, more antioxidants are going into the body. They prevent you from a lot of degenerative diseases, cancers, and cardiovascular issues also. So, how should your meal plan be? So, there are a lot of meal plans available on the net. You just type diet plan for obesity, you get 100 diet plans on the net, but it is not possible for everybody to follow that diet plan. Your diet plan is should be something special. It according to your tastes and what you like to eat, your schedule. Like somebody may not eat before their puja. Their puja gets over at 9:30 or 10. I cannot tell them, no, you have to have your breakfast at 8 and 8:30. Instead, make it flexible. Give them other options that they can have. Uh, your health status, depending on your medical condition, your calories, calorie consumption, all these. Yeah, so all these help in determining, and also your exercise, how active you are, and what kind of exercise schedule you follow. So these are all taken into consideration. So till now, if there is any query, please write down. I'll just give a pause of 1 minute. In case there is any query, you can even type it in your chat box before I proceed to the next topic.
That's good. Probably we can even wait for a minute. If you don't have a pen or a paper, please go get a pen and a paper. We will wait for 1 or 2 minutes so that you can make a note of the question, and in the end of the session, you can ask the same.
Or you can keep typing on the chat box. So
Yeah.
once the entire session is over, we will take a Q&A. At that time, we will read your questions and keep the answers. So it is so nice to hear that, yes, diet planning is so important and how colorful is your plate. I think now we should go into the nutritions of that and really work. It's nice, actually. I will remember this colorfulness definitely, but not for other things. Automatically, I think we will choose the right one of what you are telling.
Correct. All the senses have to be pleased. Your eyes, taste.
That's true. Otherwise, what happens? We will not follow that diet.
Right.
If you strictly just go to a nutritionist, take some strict diet and get it home. What if I'm not a oats person and if I'm asked to eat oats in the morning? I will never do it.
Correct.
Instead of that, it's very good to have a couple of different options and do what you really like.
Correct.
That's a very good thought from you. Thank you.
Because it's not something we'll do only for a few days. It has to be a lifestyle change.
True.
I think now we can start off. I think we have given
Yeah.
time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So moving to the next part, nutrients. So the most important nutrient, which is a very is controversial one also today, whether to take carbohydrates or not. Is it a villain or is it a hero? So carbohydrates are an instant source of energy. They are required for a lot of functions in our body. So especially all carbs, since they break down to glucose, our brain can only utilize glucose for functioning. So in the lack, when we don't take good sufficient amount of carbohydrates, our brain function does get affected. We are not able to think that well, we are not alert. Another function is the fiber. So many of these carbohydrate sources also have fiber in them. So this fiber is very important for our gut bacteria. So just before the session, I was explaining about the gut bacteria, how important it is for various functions like metabolism, immunity, our mental health. So this fiber is a food for the gut bacteria. So we must not eliminate fiber from our diet. Many cereals and pulses are rich sources of vitamin B, which is very important for metabolism. And for vegetarian, rice and dal combination, gives a very good essential amino acids. So that means the protein quality when we mix these two is very good. For non-vegetarians, the sources are much more, but for vegetarians, whatever a good combination of protein should be maintained. So when we come to carbohydrates, a quality and quantity makes a bigger difference. So how much do we eat? So that is important. Also, what kind of carbs we take. So there are something called refined carbohydrates. By this we mean maida, fine your chiroti rava or fine suji, or rice flour, or white rice or corn flour. So why are these called refined? Because the skin or the outer husk is removed, so they are devoid of fiber. And there are something called complex carbohydrates which are healthier, and these we get from whole wheat flour or dalia, or what we call a broken wheat, or bansi rava, oats, unpolished millets, all these. The next important nutrient is proteins. So our body, we should be amazed at the way it's working. The daily 24 hours it is functioning. Wear and tear keeps happening. Cells break down, new cells are formed. For this, proteins are very important. Also, many of our hormones and enzymes are made up of protein. So a good intake of protein is very important. Some proteins also carriers, like for example, hemoglobin, it carries oxygen to our lungs. So sometimes when we say we are low of or we are anemic or we have low hemoglobin, people only go for high iron food. But they must also keep in mind that good protein intake is also important for good hemoglobin. And since our muscles are made up of proteins, so for our muscle function also good proteins are required. Proteins keep us full for a longer time, so they give us satiety. And this, for as mentioned in the earlier side, cereal pulse combination. This is a good combination for vegetarians. Then curds, buttermilk, curds and milk products, soya products. These can be consumed by vegetarians. Fats, whether to eat them or not. So fats are very essential for some body functions like healthy nerves, absorption of some vitamins like A, D, E, and K, our maintaining our cell integrity, cell membrane integrity, also to give us warmth. And to some of the healthy fats also protect our heart. So, and most important, fats give flavor to the food. Imagine eating just boiled food or stir fried food. Which one is tastier? So let's see the different kinds of fats. So one is saturated fats. By this we mean fats that are hard at room temperature. So butter, palm oil, ghee, coconut, all these come under saturated fats. These two should be taken in small amounts, not very liberally, because these do contribute to cardiovascular diseases. Another thing we need to be very wary of is trans fats. This is a hidden fat, which is called vanaspati. So this comes into our body from so many sources we don't even realize. So if you see the food label that is there in the slide, you will see that trans fats, they will say zero, but they would have mentioned partially hydrogenated kernel oil or partially hydrogenated cottonseed oil. So one must learn to read food labels. This shows that it does have trans fats. This is a very harmful fat. It important. Also, we get different kinds of fatty acids, essential fats from different oils. So, cycling of oils is recommended. That is, if this month I use groundnut oil, the next month I use a different oil, like sunflower oil. The third month I use sesame oil. Or the best option would be to use different oil for different meals. Suppose I make my breakfast with sunflower oil, then my lunch, sabji, I make with groundnut oil. And for my dal, I season it with a little bit of ghee. So this gives me all the different kinds of fat. And one very important fatty acid we get from omega-3 fats. So this must be this must constitute be a part of a diet on a regular basis. So the sources of omega-3 fats are some fish like salmon, mackerel, flax seeds, walnuts, mustards, chia seeds. So these can be taken as these seeds can be taken as a snack in between. This fish can be included in your diet 2 times a week, but not in deep fried form. So vitamins and minerals, they also have an important function in our body. They're important for our metabolism, immunity, cell function, also for insulin sensitivity. For example, chromium is important for insulin sensitivity, protein absorption. Fiber from vegetables and fruits helps in preventing constipation and controls blood sugars and triglycerides. The more colorful our vegetables are, the more antioxidants we get in our diet, which prevent us from cancers and inflammation. So this is so far I have covered nutrients. Should we take a break for questions or can we continue?
So I think you have given us the ingredients.
Yes.
Now we are ready for the plan.
Now
I
the
think if
method.
anyone has got any questions, I'm repeating, please type it either on the chat box or make a note of it so that she can take the questions as soon as the presentation is over so that we can clarify all the questions once. Should we give just a half a minute and then start off?
Yes, sir.
Sumati, for some people, how to use the chat box, you may have to show them.
Okay, definitely. At the bottom of your screen, there is something called participants chat. Just go and touch the chat. This type of Zoom group chat will come up on the screen. And there you can start type message here. You can type it there and send. So right now we would not be answering. We would accumulate all the questions and we will take it up and we will do it in the end of the session. Is that clear? Yeah. Should we continue the meal planning, ma'am?
Yeah, please. So, how does your meal plan help you? It helps in losing or maintaining a healthy weight, reducing risk of illnesses such as diabetes, high blood pressure, heart disease, high cholesterol, stroke, arthritis, poor bone density, and painful joints. So this is a meal plan for somebody suffering from osteoporosis. So this is just an example. So some dry fruits, with which are a good source of essential fats, especially almonds, which are also rich in calcium. A breakfast made of ragi roti with raita, which are though both of them are high in calcium. Then for mid morning, a slice of papaya. Lunch, good amount of vegetables from your raita and calcium from curd and from spinach and fiber from vegetables. A glass full of buttermilk. Evening snack would be something like a bowl of makhanas or lotus seeds, which are high in calcium. Then again, or a soup of a spinach soup, and then a dinner made with a millet like rajgira, or which is called amaranth or ramdana in Hindi. This is a very rich source of calcium. And at bedtime, a glass of turmeric milk. So turmeric is also and has is anti-inflammatory, and it protects from us from any infections. It has antiseptic properties also, antibacterial properties. This is another plan for somebody suffering from obesity or fatty liver. So this person requires a diet with good amount of essential fats, which he gets from nuts, fibers, which he will get from oats or guava, and I mean the fruit, and proteins and fiber, which he gets from the sprouts, and lot of vegetables that are there in his diet. So this is how one can plan so he gets variety and a good amount of nutrients also. So this 70% of our the results that we get are because of diet, and the next 30% of results we get because of our activity. So they go hand in hand. So it is very important to be active physically. So activity is of so sitting is the new smoking. So we shouldn't be sitting for a long time. So activity is of two types. One is called structured activity. This is a planned activity, the exercise that we plan. For example, walking, swimming, yoga. At least 150 minutes of this in a week is required. Uh, and the other kind is unstructured activity. That is something the spontaneous decisions that we make on a day-to-day basis. For example, now in lockdown, the maid is not there. Just pick up a broom and sweep the house. So that you are active, you burn some more calories. Then aerobic, the exercises are also of two kinds, and we have to follow both these on a regular basis. Aerobic exercises, these use the larger muscles of our body. They improve our cardiac health, and they because our heart beats faster when we do this, and they increase our rate of breathing and improves our lung capacity also. So walking, swimming, Zumba, or Surya Namaskar, these come under aerobic exercises. Strength training, these associated with use of weights. The weights could be, you need not go for heavy gym weights or to do this. You can just use simple things like resistance bands or elastic towels, or maybe and your own body weight to do some exercises. So, or if nothing else is available, even 2 1 liter bottles filled with water, which I think is available everywhere. So the purpose is to contract the muscle, hold for some time, and then relax it. So this improves our muscle strength. So aerobic activities are important for our cardiovascular health, and strength training is important for our muscular health. So having a good muscle mass gives us more strength. It prevents us from falls, which are very common in old age, losing balance. That doesn't happen. These are some exercises that can be done at home to improve flexibility. Some stretching exercises, so all your muscles are exercised, and you need not go for, if there is no access, you can't go for a walk, then just marching at home, or for diabetes, after your major meal, just walking in the house for 20 minutes. That also will help. Especially for diabetics, 20 minutes after their lunch and dinner gives good results. Sleep is a very important aspect. Many people think, oh, 4 hours of sleep is enough. I feel I can work after that. But for our for our hormones to function normally, sleep is important. So these are some hormones. Leptin, this is the hormone which tells us I am full, I don't want to eat more. Ghrelin is a hunger hormone. It tells my brain I'm hungry, give me food. Cortisol, it is a stress hormone, but the main function of cortisol is to tell me, okay, come on, get up and get to work. So that is the function. So all these hormones, they follow something which we call a circadian rhythm. That is they follow the sun clock. So as we approach evening, our cortisol levels go down. So our body is preparing us for sleep. Uh, and if we watch too much TV at that time, or at bedtime, if we watch our phones, our body is not able to differentiate between sunlight and artificial light. It thinks it is still daytime, and it keeps secreting these hormones. So we notice people who stay awake for a long time feel very hungry at night, because their body is secreting the hunger hormone. Also, they are more stressed out because of high cortisol levels. But when we have a good sleep pattern, we eat early and we go to sleep. Usually, a person with normal sugars will not feel very hungry through the night. He will not get up in the middle of the night saying, "Oh, I'm very hungry," because our body has a beautiful phenomenon. At around 2 p.m., our body stores of glucose, which is called glycogen, breaks down. And to give us some glucose. So the purpose is we don't go into hypoglycemia or low blood sugars. And at around 6 p.m., when the sunrise happens, again our sugars go down. The purpose being to wake us up, get up and go get some food. So this is an adaptation of our body. Now, a person who stays awake and has a late dinner, what happens with him is already because of his late dinner, his sugars would be high. Again, at 2 p.m., his sugars shoot up because his body is providing it. So he gets up with a very high fasting blood sugar. So that is why sleep is very important. So the diet and activity part is over now. Can we take a half a minute break to write down any questions that you have?
It was wonderful. So I think with all these things, what is the most important is how to keep ourselves happy and mindful so that all these things work 100% in our body.
Correct.
Without keeping ourselves happy and engaged and mind being happy, I think all other things will not work much.
Right.
So, and there are questions which are coming up, Aarti. I'll read it out after the end of this session.
Yeah.
Very interesting questions, and I have noted down some. Because generally people say, I have a sweet tooth. What do I do? Can I have a sweet or not? As you said, you have to take care of all the taste buds. What happened here?
Correct. Shall I answer that now or should?
I think we would answer everything together so that all are very attentive. I think now they would be busy writing the questions.
Okay.
I think if we are done, can we go to the final presentation on mental well-being? I think you can start off, Aarti.
Yeah. So mindfulness, being, what do we mean by being mindful? Mindful means being aware of the surroundings, being aware of what is happening around you, being active and being resilient. By being resilient means there may be, see, with as age grows, we have some negative experiences. Maybe I lose my job. I don't have enough savings. I have some health issues. So that cannot put me down forever. Some situations improve with time, some will stay with us. So being resilient is very important. That is, come out of that situation and move ahead. For this, meant some
Sorry
aspects.
to disturb. Can you be a little louder if it's okay?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it is very important to follow some factors, some tips. That is, as I had mentioned earlier, good sleep, because sleep regulates a lot of chemicals in the brain. Good food, so vitamin B12 especially is very important for good healthy nerves and good memory. Iron intake is also important. Caffeine, some people take too much coffee, they think it makes them energetic and active. So caffeine gives you this very short boost, you feel very energetic for some time, and then again it brings your energy levels to very low. So too much caffeine addiction is also not good. Plenty of sunlight, so vitamin D is important also for our brain function, and as I had also mentioned, circadian rhythm. And when we feel good and when we have good exposure to sunlight, a hormone called endorphin is also released. This hormone is also released when you exercise. So these are called happy hormones. So they make you feel good and elated. Managing stress and depression is very important. Stress, everybody is stressed, right from a child going to school because maybe his friend is not talking to him, to an older person who has much more complicated stressor. So it is important to know our triggers, like what stresses it out and how to get rid of that trigger. Just a simple example is, suppose my doctor has told me I need to walk for 45 minutes in a day, but I have a knee problem. I am not able to walk. After 20 minutes, I feel very tired. It's very painful. I'm tired. So what can I do? I need not get stressed out on that. I start go to 20 minutes. So today I walk for 22 minutes. Maintain that for 2 3 days. So slowly your body gets used to that exercise. When it gets used to it, slowly increase to 25 minutes. So the gradual progression will reduce the stress. So this is just one example. Um, and as I had told earlier, activity and exercise, and also a good social life, because when you mix around your people also, it you do a lot of productive things. One thing is your mind is lighter. Second thing is you need to exercise your brain, so you are much more alert. It is like an exercise for the brain. When you meet more people, you cannot tell everybody ಇವತ್ತು ಕಾಫಿ ತಿಂದೆ, ಬೆಳಗ್ಗೆ ರಾಗಿ ರೊಟ್ಟಿ ತಿಂದೆ. You have to come out with different topics to talk to people, so it is a brain exercise. The depression is a common feature. Many people go through depression at different stages of life, and it is also a stressor. It causes production of um, stress hormones, which in turn um, causes increases or causes more damages. Like a person who is diabetic, if he is depressive, his health condition can deteriorate because of the stress hormones. His sugars can go up. He may not feel like looking after himself or his diet. So it is very important to get out or get rid of depression. So some common traits of or symptoms of depression are, the person may be agitated, he's loss of interest, he's irritable, he doesn't like to talk to people, or he feels I'm not able to do something, I have body pain, I have some other physical issues, which may really, there may not be any physical, it could be only psychological. So depression can be easily managed with some physical activity, exposure to bright light, positive thinking, and a good diet rich in antioxidants and folic acid. So a community living is a good setup for social interactions, because people of all different backgrounds, you can meet them there. Stress and anxiety management is also very important, because we keep stressing about or getting worried about what will happen tomorrow. So or thinking that something has happened to me, I reacted to this way last time, same thing will happen to me today if I do. So unnecessary stress is a cause of lot of problems today. So this cortisol is a stress hormone which is released when we get stressed out, and this aggravates problems like osteoporosis, diabetes, hypertension, increases, also causes weight gain, especially in the abdominal area. So people, you may see people are thin otherwise, and they have a big paunch. So one reason could also be stress. Rapid mood changes, or conditions like glaucoma and cataracts, they can also get aggravated. So management of stress is not really stressful, it is quite easy. some tips some tips we can follow are spending time with quality time with family and friends, or doing activities which we like, exercising regularly so that we have a good supply of endorphins, which are the happy hormones. Have not being judgmental about others or about self also. So having a positive mindset, eating healthy, because a healthy gut gives a healthy mind, and practicing some relaxation techniques like pranayama, yoga nidra, and meditation. These help us reduce the cortisol production and stress hormones also in the body. So, what are the benefits of living in a senior community? So, all of you all have worked hard in your life to fulfill all your duties. You would have looked after your parents, your children, and in that process, somewhere you didn't find time to look after yourself much. So now, when you move into a senior community, uh, the responsibilities are lesser. You do not need to run a household, you don't need to pay so many bills, do all the running around. You have a lot of people to meet to new people to meet to who have different kinds of interests. You can share your knowledge and you can learn new things from those people. um, Develop new skills, and to top it off, there is an assurance of healthcare. You need not worry that if I am sick, what happens. There is healthcare facility available. So I would end this presentation by saying cheers to a new life. Happy living. I cannot hear you.
Yeah, Smriti, you're on mute. Please unmute.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for this session, Aarti. I think people would have really understood the real, what I can say, the seriousness of our life with a very easy and what I can say, practical lifestyle. Thank you so much for this. And I think there are a lot of questions here. So one by one, I would like to read it to you, Aarti, so that you can answer to them.
Sure.
The first question would be okay. I asked you about the sweet tooth because in elders, what generally happens is they would love to have a sweet and they're restricted, always saying that no, you cannot eat, you are sugar patient, you are diabetic. So, this is one thing which I always hear from a lot of elders. So,
Mhm.
what is your suggestion or your take on that?
Sumanji's favorite question too. So
I would
So
so eat there.
right. So there are many healthier options of sweet also. So something like a small piece of groundnut chicky will be a little lower in glycemic index because it has proteins in it. The sugars may not rise that high. Also, total carbohydrates that matter for diabetics. So if their regular diet is high in protein, high in fiber, and not very carbohydrate rich, just a small piece of sweet is fine. And also a little walk after your meals, so that some sugar is utilized, it is burned. So that can be done. Healthier things, options like a small banana can be taken, a fruit, an apple can be taken on a regular basis if they want, if they feel like.
Because this came in, I have a question along with this. When should we have a fruit? Before breakfast or after the breakfast?
The best time to have fruit is mid morning. So between the meals, because especially for diabetics, fruits also have a sugar called fructose, so they increase the carbohydrate content of your diet. So finally the sugars may rise. So the best time to have fruits is mid morning. Also, secondly, the when your total meal has a good amount of proteins, so your body secretes gastric acid, which also damages a good amount of fiber which you may get from the fruit. So to avoid that, it can be eaten as a different meal, separate meal.
Okay, one more question which is coming up is when we should have the first time meal as soon as we get up. What can be the ideal time from the time we get up when we have to have a first breakfast or a meal or break the fasting?
So it is for a normal person. So today there are a lot of people who are also doing intermittent fasting. I'm sure everybody
The
must have
normal
heard.
person you can tell initially, then you can.
Yeah. So a normal person can follow intermittent fasting, but it is not easy for everybody to follow it. because there are some people.
Sorry, I think you didn't get my question. As soon as I get up, within what number of hours I should have my first meal? I should take my breakfast.
Oh, okay. So it is good to have it within an hour of waking up.
Oh, okay.
That will so that your metabolism doesn't drop down. So the whole night we have been hungry, and when we stay hungry for a long time, also one thing that could happen is our metabolism could go slower, because our body thinks I'm under starvation, so let me slow down the body, and that is not what we want. So it is good to have a early breakfast.
And the other question is the meal always planned by a qualified dietitian?
Where is
This
it?
was
Meal.
Sumati, 1 minute. This probably is not a relevant question. It probably was asked for Manasum. We can answer that later. Next, we can.
This is okay. Well, the other questions, can we walk immediately after lunch or dinner? Can we walk immediately after a lunch or a dinner?
Yeah, so this walk, what I'm mentioning, is not very brisk walk. It is moderately paced. So this you can walk after. It need not be very fast, but the walking which you do for an exercise as per se. So what you go for in the mornings or evenings, the brisk walk, that should not be done with a very full stomach.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so this 20 minutes walk is basically for people who cannot go out for regular walk. So something is better than nothing. So some glucose is burned.
Okay. So what about residents with psychological issue? Do you have? Okay, that is for us again, I believe. What is the best time to get vitamin D from the sunlight?
Between 8 and 10 in the morning.
Vitamin D, best time? Okay.
Yeah.
It is 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. in the morning is the best time. Okay, fine. How to take care of Parkinson's and dementia in the elderly people? Any preventive measures?
Yeah,
Any
so
diets
I will
you can
answer it.
suggest?
I will answer it.
Yes.
Yeah. So basically what happens is like Parkinson's and dementia are progressive disorders, and with Parkinson's, like there can be symptomatic treatment and neuroprotective line of treatment can be done. And dementia, there are various types of dementia, for example, Parkinson's disorder dementia and vascular dementia, and there are so many other types of dementias that would be associated with the comorbidities. For example, somebody with diabetic distress and they have been in diabetes for last 15 years, there would be certain wear and tear of vascular system, and that would lead into dementia, and also progression of age also leads into dementia. So dementia has to be clinically diagnosed, and suitable line of approach has to be done. And with Parkinson's is, once again, it is a neurodegenerative disorder, and it takes a lot of efforts to maintain the condition. So like
your voice is not very audible. Can you be a little more louder? Come close to the mic.
Yeah. So Parkinson's, it will take a lot of effort. So basically, like if there are tremors, if there is a rigidity, and if there is bradykinesia, so based on the condition, a symptomatic treatment approach will be undertaken. So it is person to person individual, and management is will ensure the longevity of the person. And dementia, it is once again a progressive disorder wherein like a certain amount can be reduced, but it cannot be kind of treated completely. So it is only management with these illnesses.
I think this is Gajananan Patil. So what would be is like if you can type your number in the chat box, doctor, he can just call you in person and take more inputs, because I understand that it is specific and it is person to person and it requires a personal counseling or a talk before it becomes the thing. So you can just put your number on the chat box, doctor.
Hari, I think he will answer. He will be in a better position to answer this.
Yeah, Srihari can also put his number on the chat box. So the next question to you is social drinking twice a week. Is it good or good for health? Question marks. That's all.
So,
In Bangalore, you have to answer this definitely because one or two times, yes, you have to answer.
so this the answer. I'm sure the person knows. So whether
So if you can tell one, what I can say, 60 ml, 90, one quarter, they will be happy.
right. So no social or unsocial, whatever drinking is not really recommended. I wouldn't recommend it. But yeah, sometimes people need to have a peg or so. So that you take with the alcohol. So so usually people take all these deep fried snacks. So that is what will contribute. That is a bigger enemy or a bigger danger. So something like salads, cut vegetables, or stir fried vegetables, or if he's a non-vegetarian, then grilled meat. So that is a better option. But yes, alcohol is nothing but empty calories, so it is not recommended on a regular basis. Also, if the person is a diabetic, then he should not have it very late in the evening. And if he has taken a peg or two of of any kind of alcohol, then he should go light on his dinner, because finally even alcohol contributes to sugars. So he could have a dinner which is lower in grains, or maybe grain free, something like a very wholesome soup or a salad or stir fried vegetables. So that is a better option.
One more question. When you were telling that you can eat a chicky on the replacement of a sweet, there is a question that it can I also have eggs?
Eggs.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, a person with a normal health, is he a diabetic? This person?
Simha Shastri, are you a diabetic? Can you unmute and ask?
No, madam, I am not a diabetic.
No, he's not diabetic.
And what about cholesterol? High cholesterol?
No.
You can have an egg. No, not an issue.
Mm-hmm.
One egg a day is fine. If you are taking just egg whites, then for protein, then even two or three egg whites are also fine.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay. So the next one is, can you suggest some simple ways to reduce weight around the waist?
This question is from a very young person, a dear friend of mine. So he's just about 63-year-old. So
But I think as the age goes in, we will be more conscious about our shape.
Yes.
Yeah.
So when we lose weight with the diet or exercise, it is not like we don't lose in a particular area. Usually the weight loss happens throughout the body. We need to tone those areas. So there are exercises like ab crunches, and so if you have a gym trainer in your facility, he would help out with these exercises. So basically, toning is required, a low calorie diet, not having too much fried food, too much coconut, reducing your carb intake, and having healthier carbs, as I had mentioned in the slideshow, and having a good high fiber diet. And protein, especially our Indian diets, the problem is we don't have sufficient amount of proteins in our diet. Even non-vegetarians in India don't eat proteins on a regular basis. So it is very important to have a good protein intake. This will improve your metabolism. This will keep you full for a longer time and help in weight loss also.
Excellent. It was really nice. The other question is, can you give us top 3 anti-aging tips for all?
Oh, okay.
I think he's going to definitely work very much on your tips and comments. I think he has taken it very, very seriously. Thanks, Jim, for that.
Yeah, thanks.
So,
So top three first would be have lot of colorful fruits and vegetables. So this will give you a lot of antioxidants and fiber, which is important. Having a fistful of nuts on a daily basis. So it's a mixed nuts like walnuts, some almonds, some one fig. If you are not diabetic, one date, and some these black grapes. So these the essential fatty acids are good for preventing or slowing down of aging. So did I say three? I forgot.
one more is pending.
Okay. And the last one would be exercise. Exercise is very important because only eating doesn't help. You have to be fit through exercising also.
Actually, I think that comes on number one.
Yes.
What happens is, okay, I'm experienced myself. I'm just sharing because in the lockdown, I was a person where I never even walked 10 steps or 100. Even if I have to go to the next floor, I would use lift. Like I was very, very different. So, but this lockdown gave me an opportunity to do exercise, and now I'm able to understand the difference. So
Correct.
one has to really feel the difference. They have to enjoy exercising. Like even it can be a small step where I started with some 2000, 3000. Now I'm able to do 15,000 steps, which
Right.
I have not done in my lifetime. And I have given all sorts of reasons to my husband why I should not do. Because ladies have got our own work style, lifestyle, and lot of commitments. But now, if I don't do that, I feel bad myself. Like he will be wondering what happened to you. Even at 10 o'clock in the night, you are still running, saying that I have to finish, I have to finish. What's happening to you? So
You
I
can
think
run easy.
developing a liking for exercising is what I felt one of the very, very important thing, which can give us a lot of energy, which will make us feel less age.
Exactly.
And yeah, what would
Also,
you
when
say?
you exercise, you tend to stick to a diet more easily because you know how difficult it is to burn those calories. So
Right.
when you pop in one chocolate in your mouth, you know how much more you have to run to burn that.
Oh my God, this is really tough. I think they have got all the answers. So one more question, what they have got is, see, generally vitamin D people, some of the website and doctor says it's 11 to 2. Some people say it's 8 to 10. Some people say it's 4. What is exact, why it is so? Can you give some light on it? You said 8 to 10.
Yeah. So also later in the later part of the day, the ultraviolet radiation also are high.
Okay.
So this could, this could cause skin cancers or people with sensitive skins. They may have some issues. So
Okay.
that is the reason. This
So 8
time
to 10 is an ideal time for the
yeah,
vitamin D.
yes, it is
Okay.
mild the sunlight at that time.
One more question I have from my side. When I was seeing the slides, you were talking about carbos and other things. So you were mentioning in one place that refined rice and white rice and unpolished, both you were writing, and you were calling it as an saturated foods. So do you recommend us to take it in a small quantity? Is it okay? Like maida or fine rava or the other polished rice? Because 90% of the entire households are now with this. So
Hmm.
what do you recommend really on that quantities or whether we can use it or not?
Yeah. So it's very impractical to say don't use it at all. It is not possible. So kids, for example, now there are so many kids in the house because of holidays. Now they may want to eat a burger, or they may want to eat pasta, and we can't say no, no, this is not healthy. Or I may want to go and have some junk food one day. So the other meals you compensate with the healthier meal. So along with that, have a good amount of salad, eat a fruit, or the next meal could be something healthier at night. Suppose dinner could be a good soup with lot of vegetables, The other days also may try to keep it healthy. Exercise, so you burn those extra calories that you have taken. So it can be flexible, but daily, like there are some people who say that, okay, one meal I will eat healthy, other things I can eat whatever I want. That is not good.
It was fantastic because this
I
is
have one
what.
question. Can I ask?
Yes,
Yeah.
please.
Probably on behalf of all the elders, which because day in and day out, I keep interacting with elders. Probably this is one tip which may help all of them. So a lot of them tell that, they won't get good sleep in the night. Most of them complain of this regularly,
Yes.
that, we'll sleep very less. For us, 4 or 5 hours, if we get sleep, that's more. But I don't think that happens at a younger age, right?
Right.
Does it have anything to do with their diet management? I know psychologically there are so many other factors which influence their sleep, but does diet really help them to have a little longer sleep than they?
Yes. Yeah. So diet will help because it will improve their metabolism. Also, exercise is very important. Many people don't have good and sufficient exercise. You need to be physically tired. When you're tired, you fall asleep. Also, in my practice, I interact with many seniors. They watch TV for a long time or watch their mobiles for a long time. So what I tell them is after 8 o'clock, keep that mobile away. Don't let anybody message you. He can wait till morning. I'm sure it's not that important. If it is, he will call you. Dim your lights, so you are also cooperating with your body. So we have these mood lightings that is in the house. So that is the function. Then if still it is not working, take a warm bath in before sleep, and having a warm glass of milk with some saffron in it, that could give good results.
Actually, as you rightly said, I think they have to little bit change their lifestyle to walk around and do little bit of exercise so that they become tired.
Correct.
And yes, you are absolutely right on the TV side because the same serials again and again, and they are not able to live without it. And definitely, I think as you said, we can ask them to little bit work on the lifestyle. I think the sleep is definitely okay. What I would like to know from you is how many hours of sleep you feel is healthy for elders. I think that's what precisely we would like to tell them so that balance they would know how to cover it.
At least 7 to 8 hours. They should try to get that much sleep. Also, keeping a regular timing, maintaining a regular time. Getting up at one particular time, sleeping at one particular time. So their body clock gets adjusted to that schedule.
Excellent. I think you answered a lot of us. And
Next, we have Mr. Chandrasekhar, who had to initially ask a question. Probably, if he's there, please go ahead and ask your question. So, Mr. Chandrasekhar,
can unmute everyone so that we can request them to answer questions if they've got some more, because here the questions are over.
Yeah, Mr. Chandrasekhar, are you there?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
So my daughter is 80 years old and she is 53 kgs now.
8 years old?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. And she's born at 4.3 kgs. First month of 9 month itself.
Can you keep your headphones closer so that you're louder?
Here now, ma'am.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
8 years old and she is 53 kgs. And she's very active. She keeps around. She doesn't sit much, and much of physical activities. Still, we see her weight increasing every month twice, and no junk foods. Most of the time, we prepare in the house itself, ma'am.
Okay. Have you met a doctor?
Yes, ma'am. We have shown her to the doctors. They told don't give junk foods and other things, but once in a while, 2-3 months once, we give a pizza, burger because of our likings. Other than that, there won't be any junk food in the house. We don't get even bakery foods here also in the house.
What about hormonal issues? Have you checked that out?
Doctor, we asked them, even the thyroid also, we thought might be a thyroid issue. Even doctor, it's not issue with that, but because she was born 4.3 kgs at the initial stage, that might be a thing. And otherwise, her activities are very good and she's very active. But because now it's 8 years and another 2-3 years again, the hormones keeps changing.
Yes.
We're a bit worried once she crosses 10 or 11 years.
Okay. You said she is active.
Very active.
What activity? What does she?
She keeps cycling. She keeps running around. She dances. Puts on the TV and dances a lot. All these things are there now.
Okay. So is it a continuous activities for about 45 minutes daily?
More than 45 minutes now.
Okay.
From 4 to 6 years, she is on the cycle and keep going around here and there, everything. Even mornings.
Okay. So her regular diet may need some changes. Actually, reducing maybe does she take a big quantity of rice while eating?
She eats a lot also. She keeps
so quantity is
eating
important.
a lot, and she wants that every time she comes in, she eats and she goes around, play and come. That is there with her.
Yeah, so she's a growing child. She will feel hungry. It is quite normal for growing children to feel hungry. So it is good to stock up and get them used to eating healthier snacks in between. So when she wants to eat something, a fruit, for example, or rather than having chips or any unhealthy snack, are you from Karnataka, sir?
I'm Bangalore itself. I'm from Bangalore.
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 Okay, so kadle puri, your murmura, puffed rice.
Yes, ma'am.
That is a healthier option rather than going for snacks, fried snacks.
We don't have chips and other things in the house, ma'am. Chips and other things. If it's required, my wife will prepare some pakoras or something for them, or any homemade things, and give them. Not from the hotel or bakery.
Yeah, but even fried, whether it is at home also, is not really recommended.
Okay.
It is calories.
I think probably the best way would be
food habits. She likes to eat a lot.
Yes.
She likes to eat a lot.
Are you a vegetarian, sir?
A non-vegetarian, ma'am.
Okay, so what you can start doing is just before her meal, like let her start with one glass of some liquid like a soup, vegetable soup, or if it's not possible to make that, one full glass of boiled dal water or tomato juice or tomato sour. That will bring down her appetite. After that, you give her some. So if you can make some stir fried chicken, or just fish which is made in very little oil, or just boiled egg whites. So what this will do is it will reduce her hunger. So by the time she comes to eating rice, also she should have salads in both her meals. So by the time she comes to eating rice, her stomach is full, and the quantity of rice will be reduced.
Okay.
So what I suggest is to have a call with Dr. Aarti later on, personally, and try to write down or whatever she suggests. You can take a opinion and consulting from her and take the tip completely and try for a week and talk to her again. I think that would make more of the thing, because it's a very different or unique type of a case what she need to answer.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, doctor.
Yeah, welcome.
Thank you so much. So with this, I think we are coming to the end of the session, and Dr. Aarti has been very, very cooperative, ma'am. It was so nice of you to give us a lot of tips, anti-aging and little drinking and little sweets. Oh, excellent. You have not anything out for us. And I think now it is our job to do all the things what you have taught, at least 10-20% slowly, and increase it to 100% of what you have taught us will definitely make us healthy. So from that time, they have been asking about Manasum also on the side, which we have not answered for some time. But only one thing what I would love to say is, whatever she has been talking is our dream too in our community living called Manasum Avigna, which is in South Bangalore, and it is a retirement home community. Our interest is to take care of elders healthily and joyful, and happiness should be their cup of tea always. So in that interest, we have formed that particular community, and we are opening up for the public by July 1st. Thank you so much for asking that, and I'll give you more details when you are talking to us in person. But it was really fantastic, Dr. Aarti. I will never forget the tips what you have given. I think we have also loaded this on Facebook Live. So in case if your friends or your relative or anybody has missed out and you feel they have to listen, please go to the web page and please go to the Facebook and go and see hear the recording again. I think we'll reload it. Kushal, it will be available, right, on the Facebook?
Yeah, it will be available on, if you just type Manasum Retirement Homes on Facebook, you can go and watch this session again.
Can you type it on the chat box, please?
Yeah.
So that everybody would know. So if you have got more queries, if you have got more doubts, or do you want to listen to it once more, and if you want to see the presentation, please visit our website and have more, our Facebook page. Where Kushal
what I can do is after this session, I will I'll share the session's recording on email to everyone. Probably that might be easy and helpful for everyone.
If it is all okay for people, can I just take a few feedbacks before we close the sessions?
Yeah.
Because that would really help us to do this more, and however we have to improve, we would definitely learn from you. Can you unmute all, Kushal? Thank you so much, Elderly Care and the team, to be so good to explain so many things about the practicality of life. Thank you once again, but we would like to take a few feedbacks also to understand what else we can do better.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure talking to all the participants.
Thank you, Dr. Aarti. So can we take feedback, please?
Sumati, one feedback about this session and also what kind of future sessions they want. That also they can.
Excellent. Thank you.
I have actually unmuted all, so you can go ahead and ask.
Would you like to go first?
Excuse me, ma'am. As you are handling with the aged elderly people, so if you arrange something, the gerontological aspect of a healthy lifestyle, what kind of specific diet and all the gerontological people are supposed to have. One thing is age is just a number, I believe, and everybody must believe on that. A active lifestyle with fun and joy and a happiness in the mind, that is the main key of everything. So a gerontological aspect of diet can be a specific area of your next sessions, where another aspect I suggest that the gerontological problems the elderly aged people they suffer for both not only the physical, the mental aspect too, as because their mental aspect cares more rather than the physical. They can bear the physical pain rather than the mental anxiety. So if such kind of session can be arranged, that can help all these people. I saw this majority of the participants are much senior than me, though I too from at the age of 52, but still it's nice to have such kind of session.
Sir, thank you so much for the feedback. We will definitely work on it and give you more sessions on the geriatric care and other details of active lifestyle living. Also, we would cover up in the following sessions, because first we thought we should just give the awareness, take the feedback and go ahead. Thank you so much. We would definitely come out with the other sessions and keep you informed. Thank you so much. So anybody else would like to give us a feedback? If you can just raise the hand, I can just unmute and talk, because there was a lot of noise. We had to unmute everybody.
Thank you, Aarti, Dr. Aarti, Sumati.
Thank you.
And Antaram.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Thank you very much, Hemant.
Extremely.
From Chennai.
Yeah, thank you very much. It was so nice of you to have this session. Thank you very much.
Like the session, ma'am, and what do you want us to improve on?
Can't hear you properly.
She's asking, hope you like this session, and
yes.
I mean, what
yes.
like Manasum to do on a...
Yeah. Okay, such a geriatric care, no, you are taking.
Yeah. Next, we shall do
Thank you very much, Kushal, also.
Thank you.
Mr. Antaram, my brother.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Okay. See you.
Kushal for the invite. And,
Anybody else would like to give a feedback? Yes, Mr. Jebakumar.
yeah, thank you, Kushal, for the invite. Thank you, Sumadhi, for taking up my very relevant questions. Thank you, Dr. Arti, for the patient answering of all that. Very useful. Very
So what is it you want us to give you one more tip, sir, in the following session?
maybe how to keep yourself mindful, maybe, I read somewhere, she was talking about the mindfulness.
Yeah.
Whether pursuing a hobby which you did in a younger age, maybe, be also helpful. That's what people say. I don't know how far it is true. Maybe we can.
Looking forward for a session from you, sir, on that.
It'll be dangerous, yeah.
I know. No, I talked about having a badminton court next to your house and how well you're utilizing that.
I use the
Not
billiards.
experience.
I use the billiards club more.
I think we should have a walkathon for all the elders, whoever are listening right now.
A session with Jebakumar, I will plan.
Yeah. So anybody else would love to give a feedback? Or any other queries or questions, or you are happy with this, you can definitely tell us. If you feel it is not the time, you can chat with us, or you can send us your feedback either in the Facebook or in our website. We are from Manasam Retirement Homes and Elderly Care. Both of us have together presented this particular session, and we would come out with a lot of this type of useful sessions in the future, which we would be informing you to. Only our request from your side is more number of audience. We would also feel very happy. Do tell your friends, relatives, as well as your kith and kin to just attend it for an hour. It makes a lot of difference. Thank you so much for all of you to participate. If we are done, we can close the session.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all for.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you all.